Hello everyone, and we've reached the end of this incredible collection of letters between J.R.R. Tolkien as Father Christmas and his children. And the very last letter was sent in 1943 to Tolkien's youngest child, Priscilla. And it's unlike any of the other letters in this collection in that we don't really get any insights into Father Christmas's life or the world in which he works in. Instead, this letter is really just a goodbye. Priscilla, by this stage, was 14, which is around the same age as the other Tolkien children were when they stopped receiving letters from Father Christmas. And one suspects that Priscilla had probably worked out who was sending the letters by this point. So it is the end of this series of letters, but it's not a goodbye forever. Father Christmas says that he will visit again when Priscilla has her own children, and he looks forward to that. So it reminds me a bit of the goodbyes in The Chronicles of Narnia by Tolkien's friend C.S. Lewis, when Aslan tells the children in turn, you're too old to keep coming back to Narnia. You have to live in your own world. You have to grow up and do your own things, but it's not a goodbye forever. We will meet again. It's a very similar message here from Father Christmas. It's also interesting that there are a few references to what's happening in Priscilla's world. 1943, the Second World War had been going on for 4 years now. Stocks were really low in the UK, must have been really tough around Christmas, and Father Christmas even says that stocks are low in his country as well. And things are pretty grim around the world, but he's going to come back more merry than ever. So it's a sad letter, but also a hopeful letter. And I like to think of Priscilla reading this letter and knowing how much her father loved her and how much work he'd put into making her childhood and the childhood of her siblings so magical. And finally, I'd just like to share a Christmas tradition for my own family. What we like to do is spread the presents out for as long as possible. So we don't open all our presents on Christmas Day, and we save some for the days in between Christmas and New Year. And that way we spread out the present giving and receiving for as long as possible. It's a bit odd. I've never met anyone else who does this, but it's really nice actually. And it makes Christmas Day a little bit less manic, and presents are so much fun. Why wouldn't you want to make them last as long as possible?